Greetings, Grandfather. Now, many of you have noted how the world is changing. In some ways, you don't like, okay? And it's true, it's changing completely. And there's going to be another change that I want you to acknowledge and understand. There is a long-range goal for peoples on this planet. And that goal is that all peoples will gradually and slowly combine to become all that you have in your total DNA allowance on Earth. Of course, the DNA of most peoples is pretty much the same, with a few minor differences based upon appearance and or individual circumstances. But this is to be considered, as science does, the gene pool available for human beings on Earth. Many of you know this, but you don't all know it. That this planet, like others, have been visited by many beings from other places. At times there's been additions to the human gene pool as a result, not because of anything forceful, but because of lingering stays by those extraterrestrials. Sometimes they stayed so long as really to be considered residents of the planet. But such stays are no longer the case. Still, within the gene pool, you have, many times, appearances that show up, sometimes in babies, sometimes in whole groups of people, that demonstrate that the visitors were here. There are certain types of peoples that are called races that are all expressions of other planetary influences. There are only a few groups of peoples still around today with, granted, some influences from others in their genetics that represent the oldest races on Earth, as far as what we understand the human being to be, eh? But without getting into all that, because I feel that people are already way too competitive, let me simply say this. 99% of all the peoples on Earth now, it's a little more than that, closer to 99.5%, are representing, you might say, peoples from other planets who are also human, but who are a little different and have donated, you could say, to the gene pool on Earth. Partly this has to do with making it easier for you to get through the years you're going through now and to get through the next 50 years. During the next 50 years, you will all remember, those of you who are here, and those of you who are young, I'm particularly speaking to, since many, if not most, of you will be here 50 years from now. Oh yes. To help you to remember who you are in your totality. When you have those recollections, you will be much more like peoples from other planets who are also human. Granted, not everybody from other planets would be called human beings, but many of them would at least be humanoids. and you would recognize them by their basic 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, and a body characteristics. You'll meet those when the time's right. For now, though, you are all beginning to have certain experiences. One of them has to do with time, and I addressed that in collapsing time and in videos around that time. And there are other things. Sometimes it is not unusual for you to have a daydream-like experience, and then whatever happened or that came up in the daydream does in fact happen in your life that day. Oh yes. So this level of precognition is something that is really happening for you all much more now. Largely your physical body has to do this, as it is a portion of Mother Earth's body, and Mother Earth has all these capabilities and much more. She can do things, she can be things, she can represent differently many things, and she is in all times and all places. This is not a bad description of your souls and your eternal spirits. You will be waking up, as others have said. And the waking up is occurring right now and will continue to increase at an increasing rate over the next 5 to 7 years. It doesn't mean that at the end of 7 years you'll all be awake and remembering everything you know about your soul, your spirit, all your past and future lives. Not that. Rather, it will mean that your capacity to grow, to change, to adapt, to meld peoples in the most benevolent way, so that all of your fine characteristics are available for everyone, will be present. I'll have more to say about these things in time, but I wanted to say this now because it's happening now. And on that note, I want to say for you and for all of you on the planet now and those to come in the near future, welcome to planet Earth. Good life.